Hello, Beacon Heights students. Welcome to Music 2020. I'm Mrs.Dale, and I have taught at Beacon Heights for 13 years, and I'm very looking forward to my 14th year at Beacon Heights. I love the faculty and students, and that's why I'm here. I know that music brings joy, and I know that all of us have sometimes been sad and have not felt joy. But I am hoping that this year will make all of us happy as we study music together. Wherever you are in your beautiful homes, I am looking forward to being with you each week for this music class for 30 to 40 minutes per session. Music is a gift to all of us. It works on our emotions. It brings joy to our hearts. It lifts our spirits, and that's what I hope to do this year in music. Music is really a combination of sounds put to different rhythms, and I am looking forward to exploring this with you. A melody in music is something that you hum or sing each and every day. It's the tune, the main feeling you have in your heart while you're in the car driving, or while you're in your bedroom, or when you're singing with your families. That is the melody. One tune all of you I know are familiar with is the tune Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Many of your parents sang that to you when you were babies or as lullabies. I want you to sing it for a minute with me now. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That was very good. Okay, now for a minute, I want all of you to stand up. I'm going to play for you on my CD player, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I want you just to get moving. So stand up and pretend like you're picking imaginary stars out of the sky as you go around your rooms on your tiptoes. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Keep going on your tiptoes. Reach high and you'll get your exercise. We all need exercise. Good job. Keep going. Here we go. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Sing along. Wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Very good. Okay, you can sit back down. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star was made popular by a man named Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Isn't that a little bit of a strange name? Let's just say it. And his picture is right here. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He was one of the most famous composers of all the world. A composer is a person who writes music. It can be a man or a woman. They can be any age, and they can write whatever they feel like, whatever comes to their heart or mind. Famous musicians are often referred to by just their last name. It's kind of hard to keep saying Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So from now on, I'm just going to call him Mozart. He's that famous, he just gets the name Mozart. Just like each of you have a name, the piano has names on the keys of this instrument. For instance, this is an A, this is a B, this is a C, this is a D, and this is an E. In piano and in all of music, we only go to the letter G. There is no such thing as an H on the piano, a W, or a Q, or a Z. No way. There's just the letters G on the piano. So will you sing with me to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but we're going to say the names of the piano notes. So we're going to sing with me, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 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 A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now maybe some of you made a mistake in saying H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, but remember in music, the names of the notes only go to G. Very, very good. So, I want to tell you more about Mozart. Mozart was born far away in a country called Europe, and more specifically, Austria. He was born in 1756. Now, if you do your math, third graders and second graders, it's 2020, and he was born in 1756. That makes him 264 years old if he was alive today. Some of you might ask, is he alive? And people do not live to be 264 years. Mozart's father was named Leopold, and he had a sister he loved very much named Nannerl. The two of them made music together. They had so much fun, and their father took them on trips throughout Europe to perform their music for important people. I want to read a story for you now called Mozart, Famous Children, written by Anne Racklin. Nannerl was having a music lesson. Her father, Leopold, was teaching her. Little Wolfgang Mozart was watching and listening to every note she played. When her lesson was over, he asked, "Please, may I have a lesson, Papa?" "You are too little, Wolfie," said Father Mozart. When Father Mozart and Nannerl left the room, little Wolfgang went up to the clavier and pressed the keys. He smiled. The music sounded beautiful. Father Mozart heard him and came to see. Wolfgang was playing correctly without anyone helping him. Father Mozart decided to give his little boy music lessons. Soon Wolfgang was playing as well as his big sister Nannerl. He learned so quickly. His father was very pleased. But when Wolfgang started to write his own music to compose, Father Mozart was delighted. No one could believe that a little boy of 5 could write such beautiful music. Now, Father Mozart decided to take his 2 bright children on a concert tour to Munich, Germany. It was a long trip. Inside the coach, it was very bumpy, but still they had to work. Father Mozart made them practice on make-believe keyboards. As soon as they arrived in Munich, people began to talk about the talented little Mozart children. Dressed in their best clothes, they played for Prince Joseph. The concert was a huge success. Everyone clapped and gave them presents of jewels and lace. Father Mozart was very proud of them. One large lady was so excited that she ran over to the little boy, picked him up in her arms, and gave him a loud, sloppy kiss. "Yuck," said Wolfgang as he wiggled his way and wiped his face. Back home in Salzburg, Austria, Wolfgang was so pleased to see his mother and his funny little dog, Bimperl. He had missed them very much. Wolfgang hugged Bimperl and then wrote a little minuet to celebrate his return. It was January 1762, just days before his 6th birthday. A few days later, Father Mozart gave Wolfgang a present. It was a little violin. That night, when Papa's friends arrived carrying their instruments, Wolfgang ran to get his own little fiddle, but Papa shook his head. "No, Wolfgang, you cannot possibly play with us until you have had some lessons and lots of practice." Wolfgang burst into tears. One of Mr. Mozart's friends, Mr. Schockner, felt sorry for Wolfgang. "Come on, Leopold," he said. "Let the child stand next to me. I don't mind." "Oh, very well," said Father Mozart, "but remember to play softly, Wolfgang, so no one will hear you." Wolfgang smiled through his tears, and standing next to Mr. Schockner, he began to follow the music. Gradually, Mr. Schockner played softly, still more softly, and then he stopped playing altogether. Little Wolfgang continued playing. Father Mozart could not believe his eyes or ears. How could his little boy play such difficult music without any lessons? Their next trip was to Vienna, Austria, and this time Mother came too. One day an important invitation arrived. It had a royal crest. Wolfgang and Nannerl were to play at the royal palace for the Emperor and Empress. There was such excitement. Clothes were washed and ironed. Shoes were polished till they shone like mirrors. Then they all climbed into the coach and started off for the palace. The Emperor, the Empress, and the royal children were waiting in the throne room. Wolfgang looked longingly at the children. Will we be allowed to play some games with them, he wondered. First Wolfgang performed, then Nannerl. Then they played duets together. The royal family sat motionless. They couldn't believe that all that wonderful music was being played by such a little boy and his little sister. While Mr. and Mrs. Mozart talked with the Emperor and Empress, Wolfgang and Nannerl played with the royal children. "Whoops," cried Wolfgang as he slipped and fell over on the polished floor. The little Archduchess Marie Antoinette helped him to his feet. "You are very kind," said the little boy. "When I grow up, I will marry you." After the children had gone home, their hands filled with gifts from the Empress, the Emperor stroked his chin. "What a smart little boy. We must invite them again. I will test him a little. I would like to find out if he is as good as he seems." 2 days later, the most wonderful clothes were delivered to the Mozart children. They were a present from the Empress. Wolfgang gasped. His suit was fit for a prince. There were white silk stockings, velvet trousers, and a lilac jacket with a beautiful vest. Nannerl's dress was pink with white embroidery. They wore these beautiful clothes when they went back to the palace the next week. Mr. and Mrs. Mozart, Master Wolfgang, and Miss Nannerl, announced the footman. As soon as Wolfgang saw the Empress, he ran across the floor, climbed on her lap, flung his arms around her neck, and gave her a big kiss. "What are you going to play, little one?" asked the Emperor, smiling. "I shall play my Allegro in B-flat major," Wolfgang replied. He slid off the Empress's knee and ran over to the clavier. "Very good," said the Emperor, "but first of all I wish to place this over the keys." He held up a large black cloth. Mozart sighed. It made no difference to him. He could play the clavier without looking at the keys. The Emperor put the black cloth over the keyboard. Wolfgang placed his hands on the cloth and played his Allegro perfectly. "Well done," cried the Emperor and Empress. Father Leopold took Nannerl and Wolfgang to many different countries. One trip lasted 3 years and 5 months. Wherever they went, they gave concerts. Everyone admired them and gave them presents. They called Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart the Wonder Boy. Wolfgang grew up to become one of the greatest composers of all time. Even today, people all over the world love to perform and to listen to his wonderful music. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart wrote over 700 works, including symphonies, concertos, sonatas, and masses. He even wrote 23 operas. The most famous of these operas are The Marriage of Figaro, Così fan tutti, Don Giovanni, and The Magic Flute. Isn't that a wonderful book? So, as you noted, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart began composing when he was just 5 years old. Think about it for a minute. That's your age right this minute. Then when he was 6, he started traveling all over in Europe giving concerts for important people. Besides playing the clavier, and a clavier is just a keyboard instrument with keys on it. So a piano is a clavier, a harpsichord is a clavier. So besides playing the harpsichord and the clavier instruments, he also played the violin because he taught himself how to play the violin, as noted in the book I just read to you. He was also a fabulous organist. Imagine that. He taught himself most of it by himself, except for his father did give him some instruction. He performed for the empress, the kings and queens of England, and the sad part about it is Mozart wrote so much music and he did it all in 35 years. He died when he was just 35. Imagine if he had lived to be 70 or 80 like some of your grandparents. Imagine how many songs he could have written. In his short lifetime, he did write 700 pieces. Some of them were just small and some of them were large operas that took several hours to perform. One of the pieces he wrote was called Einen kleinen Nachtmusik. This is a piece that interpreted means a little night music. They didn't have 250 years ago movie theaters to go to. They didn't have cell phones. They, for their entertainment, met together in living rooms and dining rooms and in palaces and in backyards to celebrate and perform their music. A little night music, or Einen kleinen Nachtmusik, was one of those pieces. Mozart really loved playing it with his friend, Franz Joseph Haydn, another famous musician that we can talk about later. So I would like to play that for you now and just take a listen. And the recording I'm going to play for you now is one I made with my string quartet. I perform in a string quartet, and a string quartet was with 4 people, 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. I am the cellist in this recording. How you can recognize the sound of the cello, it's the lowest of the 4 instruments. Let's take a listen to Mozart's Einen kleinen Nachtmusik, or a little night music. I hope that made you excited to learn more about Mozart. That woke me up. I hope it woke you up. And I hope you'll do more reading about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He was an incredible musician. And hopefully when symphonies and places open up, we'll be able to go to some live concerts to hear his music. In the meantime, you can look things up on YouTube. Now, just like I said, Mozart made the tune Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star famous and popularized it. So for further reading and something further to do to enhance your language arts, I would like you to do a search on YouTube. And you look up Storytime Bunnies, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, written by Isa Trappini. And it's got beautiful illustrations, and it's got lots of different verses to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Some of you might not have heard about traveling in the sky up to the planets. It's very fun reading. So follow along on that YouTube website, Storytime Bunnies. Thank you for joining me today in music, and I'll see you next time.